Welcome back to Field Notes from the Dead, the podcast where bones, trauma, and deep time meet under candlelight. I'm your host, Kai Roberts, forensic anthropology student, storyteller, and someone who thinks ancient DNA is basically magic with a pipette. Today we're exploring one of the most talked about skeletons in British archaeology. A man who lived more than 10,000 years ago, whose DNA sparked national conversations and controversy about race, ancestry, and who gets to claim the past. This is a story of Cheddar Man. Let's step into the cave. Cheddar Man was discovered in 1903, give or take, inside Gough's cave in Cheddar Gorge. That's a limestone cathedral carved by water and lots of time. He dates to be around 7150 BCE, long before farming, metal, or the concept of Britain as we know it existed. He was a Mesolithic gatherer-hunter, one of the earliest known individuals to live in the region after the last ice age. What makes him so extraordinary isn't just his age. It's how complete his skeleton was, and is still, and how well he was completely preserved. He wasn't just tossed aside, his body was placed intentionally. It was curled, it looked almost peaceful. But it wasn't until 2018 that his story truly came alive. A team at the Natural History Museum extracted DNA from Cheddar Man's petrous bone, the dense inner ear bone that preserves genetic material better than any other. This allowed a full genome reconstruction, an incredibly rare achievement for remains this old. The results? Cheddar Man likely had dark to very dark skin, dark curly hair, and blue or greenish eyes. This wasn't shocking to scientists, but it was shocking to the public, because it didn't match the imagined first Britain that many people had grown up with. When the reconstruction was released, it hit cultural nerves. Cheddar Man challenged nationalist narratives about ancient whiteness, identity, ancestry, who belongs. But here's the truth. Cheddar Man lived thousands of years before the populations that shaped today's British genetics. He isn't a direct ancestor of most people in the UK today. He isn't a symbol of modern identity. He's a window into a completely different world, one where race, whiteness, and nationality just didn't exist. He walked a world full of movement, mixing migration and adaptation, not borders, categories, or what he thinks he should have been. Let's break down the genetics a little simpler. Skin tone is shaped by multiple genes: UV light exposure, dietary vitamin D, migration patterns, population bottlenecks, you name it. Early European gatherer-hunters, including Cheddar Man, often had darker skin, lighter eyes. These traits appear repeatedly across ancient DNA in Europe. Lighter skin became common in Northern Europe much later, with the spread of farming populations from Anatolia and the Eurasian steppe. So Cheddar Man's traits aren't shocking to scientists at all. They reflect a world before agricultural migrations reshaped how European genetics are today. To me, Cheddar Man is not about the controversy, while that is important. He's about the context. He reminds us that humans have always been diverse. Identity is fluid, ancestry is super complicated, and race is a recent cultural invention, not an ancient biological truth or right. He lived in a world defined by survival, kinship, and the environment, not by skin color categories invented thousands of years later. Cheddar Man's genome isn't political. It's simply data. But the way we interpret it, that reveals far more about us than it does about him. Thank you for joining me in the echoes of Gough's cave. Cheddar Man is a reminder that the past is never as simply or as tidy as we want it to be. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, rate, or share the podcast. You can always reach me at any of my contact info down in the show notes. The next episodes are going to be kind of crazy, so stick around for some wild, weird, and unexpected. Stay curious, stay kind, and remember, the bones never lie, but the stories we tell about them often do.